I'm not accidentally sending this to share Emeth.
Judy and Denise, you came on a little later and didn't get a chance to meet Michelle. Michelle's joining us from Framingham, Massachusetts.
Oh, that's so great.
A cantor there, so you may, really.
Oh, you're a cancer there. I missed that part. That's so
Welcome.
great.
Oh, I missed that part too.
You're going to elevate us.
Okay.
Oh, Daniel, look, I got my book.
Ooh, you got your book. Good. It's the only book like that I've ever finished. For those streaming, The Art of Contemporary Travis Picking.
You know what, Linda? Let's do it together.
That's what I just was thinking. Yeah, we're going to do it together.
It's great. It'll totally change how you play guitar and open up a whole new world of playing. Okay, but let's play some ukulele. Okay, we're going to go back to our old exercise, our warm-up, and then we'll move to our finger picking that we've been working on the last few weeks. But we're going to do it a little differently to shake things up a little bit, right? So we've been playing our sort of Hashki Venu over and over, right? This 1 5 4 or 1 5 6 4 progression. We play it with C, G, A minor, and F, right? That's one version that we've played this in. Let me make sure everyone's muted, and I'm going to turn on original sound. There we go. We also play this in the key of G, right? With G, D, E minor, and C. And we've been playing it in the key of... I skipped one. Which one did I skip? There we go. In the key of G. No, we just went over that one. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, we're not going to be doing that today.
F? I think we did F.
Did I? Yeah, I thought we did F too. I don't know where it went. It's somewhere.
It's there. It's there.
Oh, there it is. It just got mixed in. Yeah, there you go. And F, which would be F, C, D minor, and B flat. Okay, so that's what we have been doing, right, is our warm-up. And we're just going to shake this up a little bit. We are going to do those exact same chords, but we're going to do a different chord progression. We are going to do 4 1 6 5. So we're just flipping around the chords, right? So now it's going to be the F, then the C, then the A minor, and then the G. So it'll do something different to your ear because we're not starting with the one chord, right? This is our home base, the C, but we're not starting with it. So we've got F, C, A minor, and then G. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm getting a look from Sean. No?
It's bright in my apartment.
Oh, no, cool. Cool. I just didn't know if it was a confused look, but I now see that it's a bright look. Great. Okay. So we're going to go through this. We're going to do one set on each. So we're just going to start on your F. Here we go. So down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, now we're going to do one set. Here we go. F, down, up. Here goes C, C. Now A minor, and G. F, F. Now C. A minor, and G. Again now F, C, A minor, and G. Last time F, C, A minor, and G. And end on a C. Right, we're not used to ending on a chord that's not the first chord, but that's going to be our home chord here because it's 4 1 6 5. How did that feel to people? Michelle, we do thumbs anywhere from middle to down as our like general checking in. Okay, was it any harder than playing Hashki Venu?
It was a little weird going from A minor to G, but that's just because that's not how I'm used to going, but it was fine.
Yeah, so part of that too, Sean, is your brain is getting to a point. You have the F, right? Then you have the C, and your brain still thinks you're in the key of F. So it doesn't expect those other two chords. It doesn't expect to have a G in this key. Even if you don't realize that music theory wise, your brain is getting there. Okay, let's play this in a different key. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to try this in the key of F now. I saw a look about the B flat there. Let's just do, as long as we got a look about the B flat, we're all for looks. Feel free to keep giving looks. Let's just talk about how we play a B flat, okay? So one of the things we talk about is that when you're playing most of your chords, we want that thumb hanging out around top, right? When you play a C chord, for instance, that thumb should be hanging out around top. And you're using the back really right there to push against the neck, right? So that's where your counter force, leverage, there's got to be a better word, I don't know. Anyhow, you're pushing against there, right? When we switch to the B flat, what we're going to do is, first of all, bring that elbow in tight to your body. Bring the head stock out a little bit so that you're really getting an angle going on with your arm heading in and your wrist. Let me see if there's a better way I can get this kind of. There you go. Maybe you can see it better there, right? You're really getting that angle where you're tilting in towards. Normally we want it to come straight away. Here we're not. We're going to tilt, and we're bringing that elbow in to make sure we tilt as much as we can, and we're bringing that out to make sure we can tilt. And then we're using that index finger to cover these two, and those go up. Meanwhile, that thumb is going to, instead of hanging around top, is going to move out back. It can be like there. Sometimes I actually will probably play it with it hanging around on top. So if you can do it on top, that's fine too. But if it's easier for you to bring it around back for a B flat, feel free to do that. Whatever it works.
Rabbi Daniel,
Yep.
could we watch you go F, B flat, F, or B flat, F, B flat, F? Because that feels hard.
Sure. That help?
Yeah, but so you, in that one, you kept your thumb over the top.
I did keep my thumb over the top. So it's really up to you. If you need that thumb for the B flat, go for it. But you don't have to.
That makes it quite awkward when you switch chords. That makes it harder when your thumb's back.
If you can keep that thumb over the top, keep it over the top.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go back to where we were. And let's try playing through this. Let me do that, by the way, so that some folks can get it bigger if you'd like. Okay, so we're going to go B flat to the F, to the D minor. F to D minor is real easy, right? All you're doing is putting down that ring finger to the C. And I'll probably cheat and play that C with my pinky rather than my ring finger here. I know Ray doesn't like when I call it cheating, but B flat to F to D minor to C. Right, but it just makes that D minor to C so easy if you don't have to move your ring finger. B flat to F. D minor to C. Just like the other chord progression that we did, by the way, the 1-5-6-4. 1-4-6-5, sorry, is really common, and we get it in a whole bunch of different songs. This one also, you'll get in all sorts of places. If anyone knows the Tom Petty song "Learning to Fly," it's this. In fact, he plays it in these chord shapes, right? 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 1. It's a little bit of a different rhythm. Actually, let's try practicing that. Let's try practicing that. We'll do it real slow. So we're going to do 3 strums, a down, up, down on the B flat, and then 5 on the F. So it starts with an up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 on the D minor. 1, 2, 3, and 5 on the C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on, let me let Patty in from the waiting room. Okay, did that make sense what I'm saying? with the counting? Is there anyone confused about what I mean by this? I could see how it might be hard to do. No confusion on what I mean with the counting? Mom, you look confused. I don't mean to be judgmental.
It feels hard to do because it's hard to end on an up and then go into the next chord.
Yeah, right?
That's the hard part.
Yeah. And maybe this is...
Is it one, down, up, down, and then F starts with up?
Correct.
Down, up, oh, okay.
Correct. Right? So your hand stays... this is a great strumming exercise that we're kind of stumbling into here. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I think this is going to be good for us. Where, right, one of the things we keep emphasizing over and over again with your right hand technique is that you want that right hand like the needle on a record player. It should be a constant speed. You don't want that right hand changing. No matter what your strum is, right? Your right hand should still just be going at that speed. And the strum is like the needle on the record player, right? When it's down and touching the strings, it makes noise. When it's up, it doesn't make noise. But either way, that record keeps spinning. Right? Does this make sense? I think we all know record players, right? Sean will explain this to you later. We'll show you a YouTube video. No, they're like trendy and hipster-ish. Yeah.
My parents had a record player when I was a kid. I used to play the Phantom of the Opera soundtrack on it.
Nice. In fact, actually, they're so trendy and hipsterish that we just recorded a new CRC music album. Andrew and Leslie made one, and we're getting records pressed so that people can play them. Okay, so, right, that right hand should be moving up and down, up and down, up and down at that speed. So we're going to count it. Each one gets one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. So that should be just going on in your head. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Right? 5, 7, 8. 1. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, from the top. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and end on an F. Okay, how did that feel? Let's see some thumbs. Good. Okay, good. I'm glad to see your range. I don't want all the easy. This was supposed to stretch you a little bit. I want to actually try that exact same thing, but in the earlier key that we did, F, C, A minor, and G. So just as a reminder, this is our broad idea with wherever any of you all are at as individuals, as ukulele players. Whatever you're working on, trying to get better at, try to isolate that and surround it with things that you're good at. So if this is tough, this new rhythm and this new switching not exactly on the 4 count, then go back to some chords that are easier, right? I imagine the F, C, A minor, and G is a whole easier set of chords than that other set of chords we were playing. So, Amy, I see you are unmuted. Did you have a question?
Yeah, that's a really neat strum. I'm curious how you just feel it and you know I want to do that with a song, or like, are there any clues that would help you know that would be a strum that you might want to use?
Yeah, I mean, we're playing this strum because it's the strumming pattern of this song, Learning to Fly. So look up Learning to Fly by Tom Petty. It's a pretty song. But that's the beat.
Would you call this like a 3-5 strum?
I don't know what I would call this. So these are great questions. So let's talk about this. The strum is actually just a down and an up. You're not changing your strum. The strum's the easiest strum that exists, right? It's literally strumming every single time. We're not asking you to not strum. However, what's challenging is we are changing our chords. Normally, we change our chords at counts of 4, right? And here we are changing our chords not at the counts of 4. We're dividing up that 4 count into a 3 and a 5, which adds up to the 8. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're just dividing it up a little bit, and it adds some texture. And actually, I'd like to add one more thing here. So normally, when you just do a down, up, right? I'm going to play that down, up here. I'm going to play this chord progression just with 4s instead of the 3, 5. And I want you to hear how boring it is as a strum. Right? It's a pretty boring strum, which is why normally when we do just a generic strum, we'll do something like down, up, up. Right? To add some texture to it. So here what we're doing is we're achieving the same effect, but we're doing it by when we switch the chords instead of when we strum. Right? So we've got... And if you want to get real fancy with it, if you're feeling comfortable, I like to do this thing with the uke where like you use your fingernail on the down strum. If you keep going into the body, you'll kind of hit the body of your ukulele and you'll get a little thump kind of sound. You hear that thump? I don't know. I kind of like to do it on the actual counts of the beat. Right. So anyways, just if you're feeling a little more advanced with it.
Is there anything you could write down as a note to just keep us reminding us of that so we would when we practice?
Totally. Let's.
Buttercup too. That. No.
Let's do it this way.
It was similar to that song a little bit. That's right.
Yeah, the buttercup did like the. I forget what
Little
it's called.
tucking sound.
Yeah. Isn't that what you're talking about?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, where you let your finger keep going down, and so that your fingernail really truly hits the right there on the body once it's done. Here we go. Strumming. How's that? Does that help, Linda? Cool. Okay, let's go ahead and try this. Let's try this in these more familiar chords, okay? So here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. C, 2, 3, 4, 5. A minor, 2, 3. G, 2, 3, 4, 5. F, 2, 3. C, 2, 3, 4, 5. A minor, 2, 3. G, 2, 3, 4, 5. F, 2, 3. C, 2, 3, 4, 5. A minor, 2, 3. G, 2, 3, 4, 5. F, C, minor, G, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, if you're finding that difficult, who's finding that difficult still? Let's see your thumbs. Where are you at on that? Okay, if you're finding it difficult, sing with me. Count with me or whatever it is, right? Like, let's try that. Try it again and really count it out loud. Say it. Say it out loud.
Can you slow it down just a little?
Yeah, absolutely. We can slow it down for sure.
I think the counting is easier when you go all the way to 8. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 4, 5. I'm finding that. I don't know. Other people are.
So yeah, if you want to go to 8 and just remember when you change, you
Never
can.
mind. Sean's like, no.
I'll keep counting it this way, but you can count it however you want in your own head. Yeah,
That's
going.
very high math, Amy.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it again. Ready? We'll slow it down. And really, say it out loud. Count with me. You're muted, so don't have to be embarrassed unless there's people around you. Mom, dad might make fun of you. But okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A minor 2, 3. G 2, 3, 4, 5. F 2, 3. C 2, 3, 4, 5. A minor 2, 3. G 2, 3, 4. F C. A minor 2, 3. G 2. Okay, now what I want you to do, keep playing this. I'll come back to counting in a second if you're having trouble without me. But what I want you to do is the first strum on each chord overemphasized. Do you hear how I'm doing that? Not quite as extreme as I was doing it. F 2, 3, C 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor 2, 3, G 2, 3, 4, F 2, 3, C 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor 2, 3, G 2, 3, 4, 5, F 2, 3, C 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor 2, 3, G 2, 3, 4, 5, F 2, 3, C 2, 3. Last time, A minor 2, 3, G 2, 3, 4, 5, and on C. How'd that feel? Was it easier when you counted out loud?
Rabbi, are you counting 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 3, 4, 5?
I'm counting 3, then 5, 3, then 5. What I am doing sometimes is I am saying the name of the chord as the 1 instead of saying 1, just to make it easier so I can say both things for folks. I wouldn't recommend that you do that. I would recommend that you count the 1 when you're doing it. I was just doing it that way because I didn't know if it was helpful for me to keep saying what chord we're about to switch to.
That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Correct, exactly.
Rabbi Daniel, what I found was that I emphasized that fourth beat. It's like so in me to emphasize. So I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see what I'm saying?
So,
Hard.
and that's why I said to add in, really try to play it hard when you switch the chord on the next strum, because it'll help to break that pattern. So the other thing that this strum, I'm glad we stumbled into this. This is a great exercise. The other thing that this strum will do for us is it'll get us out of the pattern of our downs always being our dominant strum, and will bring up a pattern of up, right? We've actually spent a lot of work to build into your right hands the idea that down is the dominant. And now that it's there, we're ready to start teaching you some other skills beyond that. And this will help with that. Okay. Enough of this.
Wait, are we done with this? Because I could sure do that one more time.
Do we want to do it one more time?
Well, I would just like to do the up because I'm not.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do this one more time, and then we will jump over to our finger picking, and then maybe we'll end with some blues.
Sorry, will you put this in with the other song?
This is with the other songs. These are always in the same place. So here, let me teach you how I do this. I'm going to put this in the chat. So I recommend everyone go ahead and click on that link that I just put in there. Open it up in a tab in your browser on your computer. If you're on an iPad, you don't need to worry about this. But if you're on a computer, go ahead and click on that link. And then what you'll see is in the bar at the top, you should have a spot that has like a little star. To bookmark this or mark it as a favorite, go ahead and click on that star. Probably at the top right-ish of where you type it in. And then what will happen is when you're in your browser, you can just type in start typing in ukulele, and it should pull this up as a favorite, just waiting for you right there.
Rabbi Daniel, if I wanted to download that on my computer, do you know how you do that?
So you can download it. The problem with downloading it is when I add new things, they won't show up.
Yeah, right, I know.
Wait. I'm sorry, Daniel. I finally found the star and I clicked it, and then what?
And that'll make it a favorite. So now, anytime you're in your browser, when you start typing in ukulele, it should suggest it. It should be just listed there for you.
Really?
And
Ooh.
that's how I get to it, right? If you come back to Zoom and look at my screen for a second. all I do is I just go up to my browser and I type in ukulele, right? And it gives me the other ukulele things I've been to, the Underground Forum, that's where I bought the ukulele that Ray has, right? The Over the Rainbow tab. And here it is right here, though, Ukulele Bootcamp. And so I'm going to go to it.
Mystery of the universe solved.
So anyhow, hopefully that worked for you. If it didn't, I apologize. Okay. Let's play this one more time.
You're streaming this, right?
We are streaming this for sure.
Rabbi, what is the 6? That's 4165.
Yeah. Great question. Great question, Patty. I went over this, but really quickly. So let me find a Hashki Venu for us that'll help us understand this. Except I messed this all up. Here we go. Okay. Here's Hashki Venu in the key of C, right? Oop, hold on. Let me mute everyone. Okay. Here's Hashki Venu in the key of C. Really familiar with this. Hashki Venu in the key of C in the key of C, C is the 1 chord, right? We're going to keep counting. C, D would be the 2, E would be the 3, right? F would be the 4. G is going to be our 5 chord. It's the number. The 5th chord in the key of C. The A, or in this case the A minor, is going to be the 6 because it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, right? You repeat after G. And the F will be the 4. C, D, E, F. Does that make sense, Patty? Okay, so this chord progression that we play in Hashki Venu, we can call the 1-5-6-4 progression. Because all we're doing is we're playing the 1, the 5, and the 6, and the 4 in order over and over again. And that's what we've been working on when we play Hashki Venu in the key of C, or Hashki Venu in the key of G, or Hashki Venu in the key of F, right? They all are going to be the same 1-5-6-4. So now what we're doing is we're playing these in a different order. And this order is instead 4-1-6-5. Does that make sense? So it's going to sound different to our ear. And amongst other things, the most significant difference here is going to be that the 1 chord is not the first chord that we play. And we are really used to, in almost every song we've ever played, the first chord that you play is the 1 chord, is the home bass. But here, that's not your home bass. The F is not your home. Okay. Let's try this strum again, the 3-5-3-5 chord change. Here we go. So grab your ukes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor 2, 3, G 2, 3, 4, 5, F 2, 3, C 2, 3, 4, 5, minor 2, 3, G 2, 3, 4, 5, F 2, 3, C 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor 2, 3, G 2, 3, 4, 5, F 2, 3, C 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor 2, 3, G 2, 3, 4, 5, F 2, 3, C 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor 2, 3, G 2. One more time. F 2, 3, C 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor 2, 3, G 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to end on a C, not an F. Okay. So you have something to practice. And let me go ahead and give you the next piece to practice at home. We're not going to go over it right now. But would love for you to practice that in the key of F.
Quick question. Can we play that in this order, these chords in this order with this drum and sing Hashki Venu?
You cannot.
Or that's just a practice. Okay. That was just a...
Those words were just left over. No, you can sing Tom Petty's Learning to Fly with exactly this if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I've given you here is that chord progression. In the same, right, we have the 3 in Hashki Venu. We have in the key of C, we have the key of G, we have the key of F. I gave you this in the key of C, in the key of F, and the key of G. This says Hashki Venu. It is not, in fact, Hashki Venu. Okay. So for practice, it would be great if you have the energy to practice this in all 3 keys, right, to go through all of them. So let me just record it here if you want to play along quickly, right? So we would have B flat 2, 3, F 2, 3, 4, 5, D minor 2, 3, C 2, 3, 4, 5, B flat 2, 3, F 2, 3, 4, idea over here in the key of G. C, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, E minor, 2, 3, D, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, E minor, 2, 3, D, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, C minor, 2, 3, D, 2. I actually found that to be the hardest of all of these keys to play, personally. But that's the key I play in the least. Okay, so that is...
Just one last thing.
Yeah.
So all those chord changes, besides being a very cool exercise, there are some songs who mess around with like what the first chord is, and that Let It Fly is one example of that. Or
Learning to Fly. Yeah, exactly. But you'll find all sorts of examples of this as you go. It's less common than starting with a 1, but often it adds something a little more interesting, and particularly in a song where it's the same chord progression repeated over and over and over again, it provides something that's, a little tricky to your ear in a good way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Michelle, is this total gibberish to you, or does this make sense what you're looking at?
I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Great. You'll give us a good excuse to go ahead and explain this all over again, which will be great. Okay. This is called tablature. It's another way of writing out how to play a stringed instrument. In this case, it's a way of writing it so that you can put out a melody, actually, right? This is a way that you can write... So I just played the top line is what I just did there. So if you look on the far left where you'd expect the music staff to be, you see the names of the strings, G, C, E, A, right? You see we had to correct the C, which wrote it wrong. So we have G, C, E, and A. Your G string, of course, being the string closest to your chin, then your C string, then your E string, then your A string is the closest to your toes, right? Okay, so the number that's there, 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever that number is, tells you what fret to play on that string. So with that 0, what we're told is we want to pluck the G string with no fret on it, what we call open, right? Then we get the next 0 on the C string, we're going to pluck it. We get the next 0 on the E string, we're going to pluck it. Then we get a 3 on the A string, which means we need to put a finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. This is the exact same thing as playing a C chord, where you're just doing one string at a time, right? That's exactly what is written out there. And then it goes backwards. And then this time it wants on the G string a 2, which is an A minor chord. Okay, did that make sense? Conceptually, are we any confusion from anyone on tablature? I actually think I did a better job of explaining it there than I did last time I explained this. So hopefully that was helpful to some folks. Okay, so let's go back to our right hand. I did some digging. There are ukulele players who go with a technique of each finger gets a string. Thumb gets the G string. Index gets the A string, C string. The middle gets the E string, and the ring gets the A string, right? Where each gets it. And we want them almost to be vertical on top of each other. Not quite vertical, but pretty close to vertical so that they're really on top of each other rather than, we don't want spread out. We don't want it looking like that, right? We want it like that. Which should be pretty natural on a ukulele because you're coming in, right? It's a little harder on a guitar where you have to crink your wrist to get it. Pretty natural. So you can do it this way. But the other way that people do it is they just play with 3 fingers, and the thumb is responsible for the top 2 strings, the G and the C. So that was with just these 3 fingers. So whichever way feels more comfortable to you, go for it. And if you want to learn to play like I just played, that book that Amy and Linda are going to go is what teaches you how to do that. Okay, the other reminder, go ahead and use that pinky, regardless of which style you're doing it. Go ahead and use that pinky to root yourself on your top. Find a spot on your top and just root yourself. Try to, if you're going to root yourself though, try to be either touching like close to the edge or close to the sound hole. Because if you put your finger over here, it'll really dampen the sound. Okay, so any questions on how we do
that once more? Where to put your finger?
That's how I hold mine. And I think I'm going with the 3-finger approach for now, personally. But that also goes to how I have learned to play on a guitar, so I can't particularly recommend it. Though on this song, I actually think it's easier to have each finger have its own string. Okay, so let's go ahead and try playing this. We're just going to play the top line over and over again a few times to get into the habit of it. Here we go. C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A minor, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C, A minor. Again from the top, C, A minor, C, A minor. Again, C, A minor, C, A minor. Okay, how did that feel?
Rabbi Daniel, I think I'm confused. Because when we practiced with Amy, she explained it different and I got it, but when you're explaining it, I didn't understand it. I'm so sorry.
No. What piece are you not understanding, Patty?
Like, okay, so when we did C with Amy, it was like you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go to A minor and you do, I don't know if you can see, and then you do up. I forgot how she described it, but like you go, Amy, do you know how you told us to do it? I can't remember, but.
I didn't say you wrong. What I did, Daniel, is I really focused on the chords instead of like really worrying about the tablet, like looking at these numbers 0003. I simplified it and I said, really, just focus on you're playing a C. Like, just play a C in your left hand and just go down and up, and then you can see the A minor. You know, you're just gonna play an A minor, and you don't have to really worry about the 2000. I mean, at some point, I could see that being valuable, but as a beginner learning finger picking, that seemed to simplify it.
So
much there.
I'm glad that helped. So what I would recommend doing is let's do this first line about 10 times in a row. And what I want you to do is get to a point where you're comfortable doing it. And then I want you, once you can do it comfortably, I want you to really follow along on the tablature. Because one of the things we are really trying to learn is tablature too, because this is going to be a skill for everything we're going to do from here on out with finger picking, is learning to read this. And it really doesn't take long to get pretty good at reading it.
So is finger picking like the way Amy was telling us, it's just down and then up, right?
That's the strum here, right? Down, up, down, up. And it switches chords on the down. Right? C down, and then A minor down. Yeah, Michelle.
I have so when you're switching to the A minor chord, you have to put your finger down right away. But when you're switching to the C chord, are you waiting until you get to the 3, or are you already putting I'm
already there. I've already switched to the C by that point. I am really switching at the beginning, right? I am going C and then A minor. And now I'm at the C again, even though I'm not, right? And I only hit it there.
Right.
I'm switching at the beginning of the measure. But sometimes you'll get situations where it'll be like, right? Where it's different than that, and it's not just a chord. So here, everything is just a chord. But that'll be the next step we will take on finger picking, is we will move from just a chord to adding in some of those things.
Okay.
Danny,
Yeah.
this is the first time I've heard about the rooting with the pinky. It seems to me that, now maybe this is because of my bass background, I root with the thumb.
So you can't root with the thumb with finger picking because that thumb is getting a string here. Right? Your thumb should be tackling your G string. And so it should be really sitting on that G string. So that pinky is what roots you down here. Right? And what the pinky does is it keeps you in the same spot so that you can lift up your hand and come back down to it.
Well, so does the thumb.
But your thumb needs to be on a string.
Yes, but if you never move the thumb.
If you are able to do it without rooting your pinky, you're great. You're golden. Don't worry about it. Yeah. There's no reason to add in rooting the pinky if you're able to do that. No, right? Like if your bass background gives you that skill, great, and don't unlearn that. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to do this top line like 6 times or something over and over again so that we can get it, so that it's muscle memory. And then I want us to really pay attention while we're doing it to reading the tablature, right? So here we go. C down, up. A minor down, up. C, up. A minor, up. C, and up. A minor, and up. C. A minor. C. A minor. Okay, keep doing this. C. A minor. As soon as you can do it with muscle memory, where you can just go back and forth, right? A minor. Then look up at this and follow along from the top. Here we go, right? 0, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 2. See, I don't think I can say that many zeros in a row again, but right? So that your eye is following along. You don't need to have any conscious thought between your fingers and your eye right now. I just want you to follow and be at the same spot. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Last time. 2. How'd that feel? Let's see some thumbs. So I think that'll be a good exercise for you to just sit there and work on. Not good, Patty?
No, because, I mean, when I'm doing the thing that Amy told us, like so if I'm doing C, I'm doing G, C, E, A, and then am I starting at A again?
No, you do not repeat the A. You do not,
Back up.
you don't repeat either end. You're just going down and up, down and up. You are not repeating either string. Yeah, exactly.
And then going AM.
Over and over again. Over and over again. You're plucking those strings in that order. Exactly.
Okay, so I'm doing the full thing in C, then coming back up, then changing to A, then going down and coming back up, then doing the full thing in C, then coming back up, and then A, right?
Exactly. That's what that top line says. You're doing C and then A minor and then C and then A minor. Right? And if it's easier for you just to pay attention to the chord names at the top of here and to ignore the tab for now, do that. But again, learning tab is the goal here.
As long as I knew to go down and up and not do the A
Well,
chord twice.
So,
The A chord twice.
so Patty, look above here. Do you see this?
Yeah.
You see it says 0 on the G, right? Then 0 on the C, then 0 on the E, then 3 on the A, right?
Right.
If you were supposed to do the A twice, you would have another 3 after that.
Oh,
So
So then it goes to the E0 and then I.
so that's the beauty of tablature is you only play the things that are written.
Okay. And then it changes to the A. So when it goes to the A, you're already up.
You're already the exact. Okay, yeah, it feels like you just got it.
Okay. Thank
Cool.
you.
Cool. Yeah, this is one of those you just got to kind of learn how to read it, and once you can read it, it's pretty easy. This is not like reading music where it's going to take you a long time to really get comfortable at it. This should come pretty quickly. Okay, I'm going to make myself disappear here so we can see the next line. Okay. So now I want us to go ahead and do that next line. So this next line is going to be the same fingering pattern, thankfully. And we're going to do it from the F to the G. So here we go. F. Now G. Now C. Now G. We're going to do that line again. F. Here we go. F. Now G. Now C. Now G. Again. F. Now G. Now C. Now G. One last time. And then we're going to do both lines. F. Now G. Now C. Now G. We're going to take it from the very top line. So here comes C. Here we go. C. C. Now A minor. Now C. Now A minor. Okay, second line. Here we come. Here comes F. F. Now G. Now C. Now G. One more time, both lines from the top. C. C. A minor. Now C. Now A minor. Here comes the second line. Here's the F. Here we go. F now. F. Now G. Now C. Now G. Okay, show of thumbs.
Daniel, could we have a close-up of you playing that? What I'm confused about is, for me, I'm just planting the chord. That's where it says C. I plant the chord and I start playing from the G, C, E, A. And
That's what I do, Amy. That's what I'm doing.
that is what you're doing. Then it's because if you just pretend, if you're playing this and let's say those chords weren't written at the top, how would I know how to finger it? Do you know what I'm saying? Like if I
You wouldn't, but you would know, right? You can play this fine with just your thumb.
I have a suggestion.
yeah.
Rabbi Daniel?
Yeah.
I have a suggestion. Is that if you weren't looking at tablature, Amy, and you just said to yourself, I'm going to use an arpeggio strum, which is what that is. That's that kind of strum.
Oh, I mean, I totally understand that. I thought Daniel's trying to get us to the place where we wouldn't have the chords up above.
No, not for everything. What I'm trying to get you to the place is where you can read enough tablature that when you encounter tablature, you'll be able to work it in.
I see. So I think what.
Don't stress the next piece. Don't stress worrying how to do this without me yet. You're not supposed to be there without me yet.
Okay. Well, what I think I told Patty that simplified it for her is just plant the C. Just plant it, and then do the arpeggio.
Which is a totally fine way of doing this for now.
Okay.
But I do want to make sure that you're following along with the tablature and not just learning the finger pattern without looking at it. I don't mind if you learn it without looking at it and then start following along once you can do it. That's fine. But one of the real goals here is for us to learn to read this tablature, and this is the first step of it.
Right, and I totally understand that. I'm just trying to figure out if those chord names weren't at the top, and I was just reading the tablature.
Don't worry about that yet.
Okay, because I'd be struggling with what fingers to put.
Don't worry about it. You don't need to be there anytime soon.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Daniel, it seems like there's a different pattern. The 3 for C comes like at a different place than when you dictate it. You know what I'm trying to say? If go back to the tablature, and I can tell you.
Dan?
Hold on, sorry. Something happened with this sound. Yes. Okay, you can hear me now, right? Yes. Okay. With our last few minutes, we're gonna talk tablature instead. Tablature. Okay. Okay. Everyone's seeing this, right? This is how I wrote the tablature before. So I just want to show you something. Can you see this? Is that... where'd you go? Nope. That was too much. Can you see that, or is that too small? So I can make myself reappear also here. So I should not be blocking it. There we go. Okay.
I can see it.
So what we've gotten written out here, right, is you're going to play open on the G string, then you're going to play open on the C string, then you're going to play open on the E string, then you're going to play a 3 on the A string, then you're going to pluck another 3 on the A string, then you're going to pluck a 2 on the A string, then you're going to pluck a 3 on the A string. So if you played this at speed, it would sound... Did that make sense? I just saw some smiles, like people understood this concept for the first time. I'm hoping that was true, right? So this is totally without a pattern, and you don't need to know any pattern, right? And we can keep doing this, right? We could in fact go from there to 2 0 0 0. Okay, so now we're gonna get a little funky, right? So we're gonna go open, open, open. Now we've got a 3 3 2 3. Now you see the next one's back, way back on the G string again, it's a 2. And then the next one's on the E string, it's skipping the C string. And now it's going to the C string. And now it's going to the A string. So at speed, this whole thing would be. It's not a very attractive song because I'm just kind of throwing out random tablature here. But did that make sense how we do this and why tablature is important and why we want to learn tablature and not just the strumming pattern? Because then it lets us get things like this that become much more complicated. In that other, that you see where it says, that's also another pattern there, right? Where you're skipping a string each time. So the same way we've got our arpeggio pattern up and down, we've also got a pattern. You don't need to learn that yet. We'll work on that at some point. But
Rabbi Daniel?
yeah.
I think I'm just trying to be sure. I got the 0003323. Then you do the 2, and then you do the 2 on the G string. Then you do the the E, then the C, then the A.
You got it.
Is that correct?
That's correct. Exactly. That's what you're seeing there.
Okay. So you read it like a story almost.
You read it like a story.
Left
One
to
thing,
right.
one thing after another. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, Michelle.
And you're generally, without the chords there, to know what fingering on the left hand, you're doing first finger, first fret, second finger, second fret, third finger, third fret.
That's kind of how I'm defaulting here. Something like that, right? And what'll happen, hopefully, is do you all see that the first 2/3 of this line is a C chord? Everything's a C chord.
Yeah.
And then the last part's just an A minor chord.
But what does the 2 mean? Because the C chord and the 3 is the C chord, but what's the 2?
That 2 means we're putting in a little melodic flourish.
But that's not a C chord, is it the 2?
It's a little flourish in there. It's still within a C chord, right? So, if I was sitting there on a bass, I'd be rumbling that C note the whole time, Grandma Judy. I wouldn't switch to something else there. But it's just adding in a little flourish. Right? There's a strummed version of the same thing.
You're just plucking the A chord over and over again 4 times.
The A string, correct.
The A string 4 times. On a C chord. Oh, and then a C chord on the 2nd fret.
Yeah, right. The chords end up being generated there, but you don't. Right. This goes back to kind of Amy's question. It's sometimes helpful to know what the chord is, but sometimes it really just doesn't matter. If you're following the tablature, sometimes all you got to do is just follow the tablature, and it'll lead you there, and you'll realize what the chords are. But even if you don't realize, right? Even if it leads you to weird, 7th add 9ths with the 6th and a dominant whatever. Kind of chords, you don't need to know that chord is that chord because the tablature leads you there. I like Linda's phrasing of it as a story.
But now I'm confused because of the when you strummed it. How did you strum it?
Don't stress the strumming. No. Let's not go there.
Okay, we're gonna. I got it.
I'm gonna do a 5 o'clock on Saturday gathering. If anybody wants to, I'll send it to everybody, a Zoom link. If anybody wants to come on. Daniel, would you mind extending this like a whole line for homework